Awesome. Well, can you tell me, when you went to the moon, what
I
race?
didn't go to the moon.
Okay, well, when they went to the moon, what did they encounter?
I don't know. I wasn't privy to all that.
Oh, you weren't? Oh. But you know that they went to all the planets.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll be right back. Thank you so much, Preston. We'll be right back with you in just a few minutes. Hi there, this is Kerry Cassidy from Project Camelot Whistleblower Radio. And we're talking to Preston Nichols, and we are, well, time traveling, basically, with our minds. Preston, are you there?
Yep.
Okay, so you were saying that the device was not the same as what was seen in the movie Contact with Jodie Foster.
No.
And, okay, now...
Well, see, that had a vehicle that actually traveled, the person traveled into other times and spaces.
Right.
The machine stayed at Montauk Point.
I understand.
This person went through like a tunnel to get to another space and time.
Okay, so, well, you're saying Parson.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying the person?
Yeah, the person at Montauk would go through like a tunnel.
Okay. Did you,
A vortex.
right. I understand
But
that.
the Jodie Foster thing, they had this wild-looking, shaped device that fell down through this ring,
Right.
and the person in the device traveled. The device traveled and brought the person there.
Well, they used counter-rotating,
Yes, I know what they used.
Yes, so would you say, but does that even, make sense, or does that not make sense to do that?
Yeah, that does.
Really?
See, that movie was based upon another project.
Okay,
That movie was not based upon the Montauk project.
Okay, was it based on the Philadelphia experiment?
No, it wasn't.
Okay, because the Montauk project was kind of building on the Philadelphia experiment, wasn't it?
Sort of, yep, sort of.
Okay. I don't know, are you familiar with Sean David Morton?
Yeah, I've met him a number of times.
Okay. Do you happen to know that he wrote a book that was based on the testimony of a whistleblower who died a couple of years ago, that it goes into depth about black projects and time travel? Did you happen to read that book at all?
No, I haven't.
Okay. I believe it's called Sands of Time. And it has in it some very, very interesting information about time travel and how our government has been using that and how we've been visited.
Has been, no question.
Okay, and it also talks about how we've been visited, or the government, certain individuals in the government have been visited by some individuals who have wanted to, let's say, influence our time.
Yeah.
And that they themselves were time travelers.
So what else is new?
Okay. So you're familiar with this.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever met a time traveler like this? I believe we're all time travelers, but have you ever met somebody who is in the sense that they came from another time and they were in this time?
Oh, yeah, a number of times.
Okay.
I've even met myself out of Still the Future.
I understand. Well, yes, and that is very fascinating.
And then you get these people coming in from the year 5,000 something, 2,500 something.
2,500, okay.
That call themselves the Wingmakers.
Right.
Oh, I didn't dream that one up because I got technology and concepts out of it that I didn't have.
And are you familiar with the website called The Wingmakers?
Yeah, it has nothing to do with that.
It has nothing to do with that. But you...
Oh, well, the caves in Chaco Canyon does exist because I've seen the caves.
Okay, so that there is some grains of truth there, right?
Yeah, there is some truth.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and...
These guys come from 2750 something, 2755, 2750 to 2760. They project themselves in, and they say we represent a group you know as the Wingmakers.
Right. And so you've interacted with these beings.
Yes, I have.
Okay, and what do you think of them?
I actually like them.
Okay, do you think they're positive entities?
Oh, yeah, they seem to be positive. They're much more positive than the Zardanian order is.
And I'm sorry, the Zardanian order, you said?
Yeah.
And who are they?
That's another group out of the future, another possible future that on the surface looks very positive, very nice, but the people in that possibility are totally controlled by a small group of people, or a small group of aliens, whatever they are.
I see. Is that a future Earth or from another planet?
No, that's a future Earth.
Oh, is it? Okay. And they're called the Zardanians?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. What do they look like?
They look human.
Oh, they do. Any difference at all in their physicality or their height or anything else?
No, they look pretty much like modern-day humans.
Okay.
And so do the Wingmakers, whoever they are.
The Wingmakers also look human.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you ever meet, for example, any Pleiadians?
Quite often.
Quite often. Okay.
Quite often.
And did you think that they were positive beings?
They seem to be.
Okay. And what about the
Well,
Nordic?
if you read my book, The Encounter in the Pleiades, I believe that I'm a Pleiadian soul in a human body.
Oh, you do? Okay. I think that I did read that, but it's been many, many years. I should probably go back and read it again. But at any rate, do you think that, well, let's talk about the reptilians and the Greys. What do you think that they're doing here?
I really personally don't have much of a clue.
Okay. But you're aware that they are here, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Have you encountered...
We had a reptilian at the Montauk Project.
Mm-hmm.
I used to work next to him, although we didn't have much contact in actuality. And we also had the Greys.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I believe that. Well, as far as the reptilians, as well, there are many reptilian races, which I assume you know. Do you feel that they're influencing events right here on Earth at this time?
Well, I'm not in a position to really know.
Okay, but you seem to have delved into all kinds of areas, so you must be interested, or are you interested in who's ruling the Earth at this time?
Yes and no. I am interested, but there isn't much I can do about it personally.
I see. Okay. Okay. Would you tell me what you encountered, for example, on the various other planets, or what they encountered on those planets? For example, Phobos. Did they have any information of what they experienced in Phobos?
In where?
Phobos.
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay. Is there any information that you got? Jupiter, Saturn, any tidbits of information?
I guess the most I got was Mars.
Okay. And what did you get?
I was working with a number of people that went to Mars through the project.
Uh-huh. But
the Montauk boys have been all over the galaxy, all over the solar system.
Okay. And one of those boys was Stuart Swerdlow, for example.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
And
what about
went to Mars?
What about Montauk girls?
Well, this is a topic which I never got involved with. This is something that Peter Moon likes to say, that there were women. There were a few, but generally the women were sex objects.
Uh-huh. Okay.
It was a very male-oriented project, the Montauk Project.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let me ask you this. When they went to Mars, what time period did they go to Mars? Different time periods, or did they just go to the current time period, or
No,
You know?
the current time period that they went to a colony on Mars.
And was it a human colony?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it was.
Okay, and was there a mixture of ET and human in this colony?
Yeah,
okay.
there was.
And do you happen to know what races of ETs were there?
No, I don't.
Uh-huh. Okay. Have you heard of our witness called Henry Deacon?
Hmm? Henry?
Deacon.
No, I haven't.
What about a guy, his real name was Arthur Neumann?
No, I don't know him.
Okay.
I've been out of the conspiracy field, I would say, for the last 12, 13 years.
Yes, I'm sure you have. I'm not surprised about that. Well, we have a witness.
That's when I went from conspiracy and working in technology to my own spirituality.
I see. Okay. Let me ask you if you have, in other words, at that time, did they go to 2012 at all? Did they time travel to this time?
As far as I could tell, that whole period from the mid-'80s through to the 2000s were pretty much blacked out. I never knew why.
Interesting. Okay. So when you said 2000, but this is 2012, what about beyond 2000?
Well, they attempted to project through 2012, and they would get into spotty times. You know, there was no cohesion in the traveling after that. That's all of a sudden you project and you'd be in the year 6,000 something, or you project and you might be in the year 3,000 something.
Okay.
There was very poor control. There was one point in 6,037, I think it was, that they could get to with quite a bit of repeatability. And that was where the dead city was, that had that monument in the center of it shaped like a horse. And no, there wasn't a clock in the belly of it. That's artistic license of the illustrator for my book.
Okay. Did the horse look like the drawing on, or the painting, whatever you want to call it, on the book, or did it look different?
I never personally saw it, so I don't know.
You never did. Okay. Did anyone try to draw it at the time, back in those days?
Well, there are a number of people that did see it, that Peter Moon's wife, talk with to make up that drawing.
Oh, I
see.
see.
There was no clock in the belly of the horse.
Right. But did they take any pictures of the Montauk horse back in those days?
No, I never saw any pictures. If they did, they never showed them to me. See, all these projects are very compartmentalized.
Right.
And I wasn't in a high enough position to see everything, to know everything. I was basically involved in working with the old radar equipment and setting up the transmitters and also setting up the chair receivers.
Okay,
I was not really privy to the logistics of it.
I understand, but you also did say that
Now, my logistics knowledge comes from working with people and helping people deprogram. That's where most of the logistic knowledge of the project I had came from.
So after the fact kind of information.
It was after the fact.
Mm-hmm. Did you happen to find out whether or not, there's a big deal about the end of the year, 2012, December 21st, around that time, there's a lot of talk about a certain event horizon happening as a result of a certain amount of factors. First of all, moving into alignment with the galactic center, et cetera, et cetera.
Et cetera, yeah.
Did Montauk or did the people involved in Montauk ever come across any information regarding that time?
Well, at that time, it looked like our reality ended at 2012.
Really?
Well, now it looks like, to me, my research, my vision questing, it looks like it goes on to about 2020-something.
Okay, but how can
right
you get
now,
to the year 6,000? there must be a through line if you're getting to the year 6000, right?